If Earth stopped spinning, what changes would happen? Would our homes still exist? What would survivors do? Today, I recommend a documentary called When the Earth Stops Spinning. As we know, Earth's rotation speed is over 160 kilometers per hour. If Earth gradually stopped, slowing by just 1 kilometer per hour on the first day, it would seem minor compared to 160 km. Though unnoticed, the impact on aviation would be huge. Planes rely on satellite navigation, and these systems can adapt to a slowing Earth, leading planes to land far from airports. Thousands of lives would be at risk, and the fate of passengers would rest in pilots' hands. A week after Earth's rotation slows, people would notice each day is slightly longer. This uncertainty about the future would impact investors' confidence, causing a global stock market crash. 2 weeks after Earth's rotation slows, the speed decreases by 15 km, and air disasters increase significantly. Time is just the first problem humans face. Next comes the ocean issue. The weakening rotational force would cause a billion cubic kilometers of seawater to move towards the poles due to changes in centrifugal force. Canada would be submerged, and Russia's oil fields would disappear into the ocean. Simultaneously, the atmosphere would change. As the rotation slows, the atmosphere, along with seawater, would flow towards the poles. The first to be affected would be people in the equatorial region, as the atmosphere thins for months. After Earth's rotation slows, each day would be 28 hours long, with 2 extra hours of daylight at night. Another terrifying disaster is about to occur. Earth is composed of 3 parts: liquid core, solid mantle, and rigid crust. They used to rotate together, but now each layer slows at different speeds. This would create immense friction, tearing Earth apart from the inside, causing devastating earthquakes and volcanic activity. Countless disasters would follow. Deep-sea fissures would release intense heat, killing countless fish, whose bodies would wash ashore and pile up on beaches. As seawater moves towards the poles, most ports would dry up, and submerged coastlines would become land. Many previously isolated islands would connect, exposing the seabed. Major European countries would be linked, and global shipping would come to a halt. As Arctic waters saturate, remaining water floods northern Europe, submerging once beautiful cities. 2.5 years later, a day is 120 hours, with 60 hours a day and night. People must adapt to 60-hour days, tormenting their sleep, blurring vision, and losing body control. 4 years after slowing, rotation drops to 60 km per hour, nearly stationary compared to 160 km. Now, a cycle takes 26 days, losing seasons, leaving only scorching days and freezing nights. Crops can't grow without enough sunlight. Once temperate rainforests are hit by cold, they can't recover. Only boreal forests in the northern hemisphere survive. Seawater flows back from poles to mid-latitudes, submerging coastal cities, turning them into water cities. Equatorial islands connect as sea recedes, but most areas are uninhabitable due to thin oxygen. The retreating sea reveals a new continent in the Pacific, with enough oxygen for breathing due to lower seabed elevation. Survivors sail west, seeking this new land formed from the seabed. Satellite navigation fails, relying on luck. Weather becomes unpredictable. Earth's rotation creates fixed air movement. East winds in the northern hemisphere, west winds in the southern hemisphere. New high-pressure systems form, affecting Earth, making survival harder. 4.5 years after slowing, daytime lasts 16 days. But once coastal cities are submerged and survivors reach the massive new continent, although resources are limited, if they survive, they will have the world's largest and most habitable land. In some inland cities that haven't sunk, another group of survivors lives by scavenging resources left by humans. But as time passes, food runs out, and finding clean water becomes difficult, making survival extremely challenging. High places aren't fit for humans. Sunlight hits Earth like a spotlight, blowing everything away. Survivors on the new continent's edge are in this zone. They suffer but can store years of water. No one will worry about it. The other shelter isn't as lucky. It's too far from the sun zone, with no rain, pressure, or wind. This stable climate will last forever. When the long night comes here, the temperature drops to -5 degrees. The night they relied on is hit hard by the frozen ocean. The shelter's end has come. 6 years have passed since Earth stopped spinning. By now, about 6.5 billion people have died. Rain and drought, cold and heat, dark and light will keep alternating in survivors' lives. The film ends here. This film's idea changed one thing, but Earth was turned upside down. This shows how fragile Earth's balance is. Our daily lives affect this balance. We must cut pollution and destruction to protect our home. Otherwise, our future will be like this film. Protecting the environment is everyone's duty.